Wife cheated in rehab and wants to work it out. Preface: I rewrote this to include all the details. This is a true story. Please read all of it and provide me with some sound advice. My wife, 41F, and I, 43M, have been together for over 20 years. We have 2 kids under the age of 10. About 3 years ago, we started arguing about her drinking too much. Then, I called her out for using cocaine while drinking. She promised to stop doing coke but said she liked having a drink or two before bed and asked me to respect that. I smoke weed at night after work to relax, so I conceded. We continued to argue occasionally about her drinking, which eventually led to a huge fight when I asked her to stop hanging out with her drug-using friend. My wife countered by accusing me of having an affair with my female best friend. I never had a physical affair with my best friend, but I admit I got too close to her when my wife's drinking and drug use escalated. You could say I had an emotional affair, but I quickly made sense of what I was feeling and didn't let it develop further. After the fight, I went to stay at my mom's for a few days, which made my wife angry. She wouldn't let me come home for about 2 months. We eventually started going to marriage counseling, and it felt like things were improving. She was still drinking, but it seemed to be limited to the evening, and our communication had gotten much better. A few months into counseling, she went on a trip to visit a friend. When she came back, she was acting suspiciously. I eventually caught her texting with some guys she met on the trip. She swore nothing physical happened and claimed she just liked the attention and was flirting. I didn't believe her and asked her to leave. She went on a 3-day cocaine and alcohol bender before admitting she had a problem. She checked into rehab the next day. About a month into rehab, I found out she was being advised to move to a sober living home instead of coming home. I was blindsided by this but agreed. She ended up at a place called 405 Recovery in Orange County, where there's apparently a sober sorority house and sober fraternity house, and everyone hooks up. I suspected she was cheating on me. She started pulling away from me and the kids for 2 months, which led to more fighting. She blamed me for hurting her recovery by pushing her to spend more time with us. Eventually, I found out my wife was having an affair with a 26-year-old guy. I caught her with him just days after her sober living program ended. Upon getting caught, she relapsed and went back to rehab. For the next few weeks, we had no contact, and I filed for divorce. She didn't contest it. My wife is now living in another sober living home and says she wants to start over and work things out. I do, too, but I can't trust her. I told her I want to learn to trust her again, but a week ago, I discovered she had still been in contact with the 26-year-old because she cares too much about his sobriety. I figured this out by checking her phone records. She admitted it but claimed she only wants to be with me. She said she was taking his calls because she didn't want him to harm himself. He eventually started stalking her, and she now swears they've cut off contact, as of a week ago. I don't know what to do. I love her and want to keep our family together, but I don't trust her. Over the past 2 weeks, she has been putting more effort into communicating with the family. She FaceTimes the kids every night and sends me texts saying she loves me and is working on herself. I've seen her on Sundays when I drop off and pick up the kids for a 2-hour visitation window. Our conversations have been cordial but are starting to lean toward working things out. I kissed her the last time I saw her, and it was bittersweet. On one hand, I feel like I've been the one pushing for reconciliation. If I hadn't, she seemed almost indifferent. Now that I'm showing interest, she's trying to show love. On the other hand, I still love her, and I have my own skeletons in the closet that my wife doesn't know about. It's not like I expected her to grovel, but I guess I hoped she would fight for the marriage the way I would. But she's an addict. My oldest had a breakdown recently and reminded me that I taught him we never give up on family, even if they give up on us. My youngest physically pushes us together during pickups and drop-offs. Both kids have been in therapy for a couple of months and have said they don't want us to divorce because they don't want to spend time away from me. I don't know what to do. I'm in a bad mental state, and therapy hasn't been helping. I'm so lost.